Certainly. Here's a powerful opening in the style of Eric Thomas to grab the audience's attention and set the stage for the speech. Listen to me right now, because I'm about to tell you something that could change your life forever. We live in a world that tells us everything needs to happen right now. We've got social media bombarding us with success stories of people who've made it, got rich, got famous, got the dream life in seconds. But I'm here to tell you, don't fall for it. Stop rushing the process. Stop looking for shortcuts. I know you're tired of waiting. I know you're frustrated that your dreams haven't come true yet, but let me tell you something. You're not failing, you're learning, you're being prepared. God's timing is always perfect, and if you're rushing through this process, you're missing out on what's really meant for you. You see, your blessing is not in the rush, it's in the wait. But you've got to trust that God's plan is bigger than your plan. And when you get this, when you understand this, your life will never be the same. So stop running, stop chasing, and just wait. Wait for God's perfect timing, because it's on the way. You need to hear the truth. Today, don't rush the process. You've got to understand something today. It's not about rushing to the finish line. It's not about getting what you want right now. It's about embracing the process, the steps, the grind, and having the patience to see it through. You want the rewards, but you don't want the work that comes with it. You want to wake up tomorrow and have everything handed to you. But let me tell you something, the process is where your strength is built. You're trying to move too fast, and you're missing the very lessons you need to succeed. I've been there. I've wanted things to happen right now, too. But let me tell you, it doesn't work that way. The process is where the character is formed. The process is where the foundation is laid. You think you're ready for success, but you won't know until you're able to handle the pressure, the setbacks, the struggles. Success doesn't just come to those who want it. It comes to those who are willing to put in the work, to endure, to stay consistent when it's hard, when it feels like nothing is happening, when results aren't showing up fast enough. You have to stop measuring your worth by how fast you're moving, by how much you're achieving right now. That's not the measure of success. The measure of success is whether you're sticking with it, whether you're showing up, whether you're building and growing every single day. The process isn't something to rush through. It's something to be embraced, to be celebrated, because it's shaping you into who you're supposed to be. When you're moving too fast, you miss things. You don't learn what you're supposed to learn. You don't grow in the areas that need growth. You're too focused on the end goal, and you forget that the end goal is just a reflection of who you've become along the way. The things you're going through right now, the struggles, the frustration, the challenges, are part of your growth. You need to face them, not run from them. You need to work through them, not try to skip over them. You need to trust that every step is necessary to get you to where you want to be. Every delay, every setback, every challenge is building your character. It's making you stronger. It's preparing you for the success that's on its way. So stop trying to fast forward. Stop trying to rush through the hard part. You've got to be patient. You've got to learn the power of consistency. It's easy to be motivated for a day, a week, even a month. But what happens when the excitement fades? What happens when the journey gets tough? That's where the real work begins. That's where your true character is revealed. That's when the process counts the most. The problem is, a lot of people start strong, but they don't finish. They quit when it gets hard. They quit when they don't see the results. They quit when it feels like nothing is happening. But if you trust the process, if you believe that the struggle is part of your story, you will come out on the other side stronger, wiser, and ready for what's next. Trusting the process means showing up every single day, even when you don't feel like it. It means being patient even when you don't see the results. It means working behind the scenes when no one is watching, when no one is applauding, and believing that the work you're doing is worth it, even if it doesn't look like it yet. This is how you build your legacy. This is how you get to where you want to be. You can't rush the process because it's not about instant gratification. It's about becoming who you're meant to be, step by step. It's about learning patience, perseverance, and faith. And when you trust the process, you give God the opportunity to work on your behalf, to open doors that you couldn't open yourself, to prepare you for blessings that are bigger than you ever imagined, but you can't rush it. You've got to walk through it, no matter how long it takes, no matter how hard it gets. Because when you do, when you're patient, when you trust the journey, you'll be ready for what's ahead. So don't rush the process, embrace it, stay the course, and remember, what's meant for you will come at the right time. You've got to understand something about trust. Trusting the process doesn't mean everything is going to be smooth. It doesn't mean you're going to have every answer right away. It doesn't mean the path is going to be free of obstacles. No, trusting the process means you believe, deep down, that everything you're going through right now has a purpose. Even when you can't see it, even when it doesn't make sense, you trust that it's leading you somewhere. And that trust, that's the game changer. Now, I know there are times when you feel like you're stuck. You're pushing, grinding, doing everything you think you should be doing, and still nothing. You feel like you're not moving forward. It's hard, I get it. You look around, and it seems like everyone else is making progress while you're standing still, stuck in the same spot. That's when you need to hold on the most. Trust the process, even when it's hard. Trust it when the progress is slow. Trust it when things aren't happening as fast as you thought they would. Trust it when you feel like giving up because it feels like no one sees the work you're putting in. This is where the real growth happens. The struggle isn't a sign that you're failing. The struggle is part of the process. That's where character is built. That's where your true strength emerges. The greatest breakthroughs come when you push through the toughest times. You have to stay the course, even when it feels like nothing is changing. You need to keep your eyes on the long-term vision, not the short-term frustration. The setbacks, the roadblocks, they're not there to stop you. They're there to prepare you for what's coming. If everything came easy, if every door opened without resistance, how would you ever be ready for what's ahead? There's power in patience. Patience doesn't mean sitting around waiting for things to happen. No, patience is about knowing that you're building something, even if you don't see the results right away. It's about knowing that when the time is right, everything will come together. You've got to trust that. If you can't trust that, then you're going to get frustrated. You're going to give up. And you'll miss out on what's waiting for you on the other side. But if you can stay faithful, stay committed, even when things seem to be falling apart, you'll be surprised how much you grow through that process. Look at any success story. Look at anyone who's achieved greatness. They didn't get there because it was easy. They got there because they faced challenges, setbacks, and obstacles. They got there because they kept going when it felt impossible. They got there because they trusted that every step was necessary, even when they didn't understand why it was happening. They didn't give up because things weren't happening on their timeline. They kept moving forward, trusting that eventually all the pieces would fall into place. And that's exactly what you've got to do too. You've got to trust that the roadblocks, the delays, the times when things feel like they're falling apart, they're all part of God's perfect plan for you. Now, this doesn't mean it's going to be easy. It doesn't mean it won't hurt. There are going to be moments when you feel like you're losing, when you feel like you're falling short, when you wonder if this is all worth it. And in those moments, you've got to dig deeper. You've got to remember that it's not the easy path that makes you strong. It's the difficult moments, the challenges, the ones that test your faith and your perseverance. That's where you find out who you really are. That's where you find out what you're really made of. Trusting the process also means accepting that some things are out of your control. You can't control everything. You can't speed up time. You can't force doors to open that aren't ready to open. You can't rush growth. You can't rush transformation, and that's okay. You've got to let go of the need to control and trust that, in the end, everything will unfold the way it's supposed to. God's timing isn't yours, and that's a good thing. It's better. It's perfect. And when you finally embrace that, when you finally let go of the frustration and the pressure to make things happen, that's when you start to see the progress you've been waiting for. You have to trust the process. Trust it when it's hard. Trust it when you don't see the results. Trust it when the road seems long and the finish line feels too far away. You've got to stay faithful, stay focused, and keep your eyes on the bigger picture. God's got you, and His timing is always perfect. You may not understand it now, but you will. Just keep going, keep trusting, because everything you need is coming at the right time. So, stay faithful, stay in the fight, trust the process. Waiting is not something most people want to hear about. We don't like to hear that we need to wait, especially in a world where everything is moving at lightning speed. We're used to instant gratification. We can get food delivered to our door in minutes. We can send messages to anyone across the globe in an instant. We can scroll through countless videos and pictures, and it seems like everyone else is moving ahead while we're left behind. But here's the truth. Waiting is not your enemy. It's your preparation. You see, waiting is the space where you grow the most. Waiting teaches you things that rushing through won't ever reveal. When you're in a season of waiting, it's not about sitting around doing nothing. It's about using that time to get better. It's about building your strength, your skills, your character. So many people want the finished product without understanding that the foundation is what holds everything together. Without the right preparation, the things you're praying for might break you when they finally arrive. So while you wait, let God build you. Waiting can be uncomfortable, yes. It can feel like you're stagnant, like you're not moving forward, like your dreams are slipping farther away. But that's the thing about the waiting process. It forces you to confront yourself. It forces you to look deep within and ask, am I really ready for what I'm asking for? When you rush, you miss the lessons that are meant to shape you into the person who can handle the weight of your success. The wait is not wasted time. It's your time to get right, to prepare, to make sure you can handle the blessing that's coming. Think about it. How many times have you rushed into something and realized later on that you weren't ready? Maybe it was a job you got too soon, a relationship that wasn't healthy, or a decision that you made out of impatience. Those mistakes didn't come from a lack of desire, they came from a lack of patience. You weren't ready for what you were chasing. You wanted it, but you didn't fully understand what it would take to carry it. And that's why waiting is so important. It builds you into the person who can carry your blessing without it crushing you. In the waiting, you develop resilience. You develop patience, strength, and endurance. You learn how to fight when it feels like you're stuck, how to keep going when the end feels too far away. Every moment of waiting is a moment of refining. Every challenge, every time you feel like quitting, it's all shaping you. molding you into someone who will not only receive the blessing, but who will be able to sustain it when it comes. This is how you're made ready. I know it's hard, though. I know there are days when it feels like you're not moving forward, like you're treading water and getting nowhere. You start comparing yourself to others, and you wonder, why are they ahead? Why are they getting what I want? But let me tell you something, their journey isn't your journey, and your time is coming. You can't rush your own process. You can't force things to happen before they're meant to. Everything that's meant for you will come at the right time, but you've got to be patient. You've got to stay faithful in the wait. Think about the seasons of nature. You can't rush the growth of a tree. You can't force the flowers to bloom faster than they're meant to. If you tried to speed up the process, the tree would not have the roots it needs to stand tall. The flowers would not have the strength to handle the storms. You have to let things grow at their own pace, and the same goes for you. You're growing, you're learning, and you're becoming the person you need to be for the life you're praying for. But if you try to rush through it, if you try to skip the necessary steps, you won't be able to stand strong when the storms come. You won't have the roots to support your dreams. I know it's frustrating. I know it's tough. I know you want things to move faster, but you've got to trust the process. God has a perfect plan for your life, and His timing is never off. He's not forgetting about you. He's not leaving you behind. He's preparing you for the very thing you've been asking for, but He's doing it in the perfect way, at the perfect time. And when it comes, when that moment finally arrives, you'll know that all the waiting, all the patience, all the challenges you faced were worth it. So while you wait, don't waste the time. Don't sit idly by hoping for a miracle. Use this time to grow. Use this time to build your character, your skills, and your strength. You're becoming the person you need to be for what's coming, and when it comes, it will be worth every second of the wait. Trust the wait, trust the process, and trust that what's meant for you is already on its way. You've got to understand something, your goals and your dreams. They're not just about what you want to achieve. They're about the purpose that God has already set for your life. It's easy to get caught up in the idea of success. The cars, the houses, the fame, the money. But let me tell you something. When you align your goals with God's purpose for your life, those things that you think you want become a byproduct of what you're really meant to do. Too many times we chase after things without realizing that the things we're chasing aren't necessarily the things that are best for us. We see what everyone else is doing. We look at their success, and we think we need that too. We think we need to run in their lane, chase their goals, and reach for their dreams. But that's not the way it works. You don't get to live someone else's life. Your purpose, your success, your happiness. Those things will only come when you align your goals with God's will. What happens when you align your goals with God's purpose is that you stop forcing things. You stop trying to make things happen in your own timing. You stop chasing after the wrong things and start running toward the right things. And let me tell you, when you chase God's purpose, it's like everything begins to fall into place. The doors that were once closed begin to open. The relationships that were holding you back begin to break apart. The opportunities you thought you'd never get, they show up. But here's the thing about aligning with God's purpose. It's not always going to look the way you thought it would. It's not always going to be easy. It might take you on a detour, a road you didn't expect. You might find yourself in situations you never saw coming. And there will be moments when you question if it's worth it, when you wonder if you're headed in the right direction. But trust me, the purpose God has for you is greater than anything you could ever imagine. And that purpose will always lead you exactly where you need to be, at exactly the right time. Now I know you've been working hard. I know you've been pushing, grinding, and doing everything you can to make your dreams happen. But have you asked yourself if your goals are aligned with God's purpose for your life? Have you checked in with your spirit and asked, is this really where I'm supposed to be? Because the truth is, your goals might be great, but if they don't align with God's will, you're going to keep hitting walls. You'll keep finding yourself running in circles, wondering why things aren't working out, why things aren't flowing the way they should. When your goals are aligned with God's purpose, there's peace in your pursuit. Even when things aren't moving as quickly as you'd like, even when things feel uncertain, there's a peace that tells you you're exactly where you're supposed to be. That peace is a reminder that the path you're on is the one you're meant to walk. The struggles you're facing aren't mistakes. They're not setbacks. They're opportunities to grow and become stronger for what's ahead. Let me tell you something else. When you're in alignment with God's purpose, your dreams won't just benefit you. They'll benefit the people around you. You'll be in a position to help others, to bless others, to build others up. Your success won't just be for you. It will be for the people whose lives you touch, whose lives you change by simply following the path you were meant to walk. Your goals are bigger than you. They have a ripple effect, and you won't truly understand that until you see how your journey impacts the people around you. And listen, I know it's not easy to wait, and I know you want things to happen now. But aligning your goals with God's purpose is a process. It's not something that happens overnight. It's not something that can be rushed. It takes time, patience, and trust. But when you get in line with God's will, when you stop trying to force things and start trusting His timing, that's when the magic happens. That's when the doors begin to open, and you start seeing progress in places you never thought possible. You're not just running after your own dreams, you're running after a purpose that's greater than you. And that's why it's so important to align your goals with God's plan for your life. You'll find more fulfillment in following His path than you will ever find by chasing after what the world tells you is success. The world will offer you fleeting pleasures, but God's purpose will offer you a peace, a fulfillment, and a joy that will last far beyond anything you could imagine. So stop running in circles, stop chasing after things that aren't meant for you, and align your goals with God's purpose. Let Him lead the way, and watch as everything begins to fall into place. When you trust His plan for you, you'll realize that everything you need is already in motion. All you have to do is stay in alignment with His will and trust that in His perfect timing, everything will come together.